Thad Goff here for Summit City Sports. Well, by now you've probably heard that Bishop Dwenger has hired a new girls basketball coach. Glenn Marini from WANE TV already reported that Steve Wiktorowski will be the new head girls basketball coach at Bishop Dwenger. Coach Wiktorowski joins me now. Steve, thanks for joining me.
Thank you very much. Excited to be here.
Well, it's my pleasure as well. Well, Steve, what was it that made you decide to take the head coaching position at Bishop Dwenger?
Well, I think there was two things. Number one, I was really interested in working at a Catholic school. And number two was I watched a lot of film of the girls, and I just thought that there was a lot of potential here to work with in the next couple of years. I think they already play hard, so there's some good things to work with, and I think my style of coaching will fit in well. So, as I said, I'm really excited to get started.
Well, talking about your style of coaching, you've run various styles of offense and defensive sets in your career. Basically, if you could describe for the folks, maybe not in full detail, but in a little bit of detail, what kind of offensive and defensive schemes do you run?
Well, offensively, we are going to try to get the basketball up the floor quickly, but most importantly is we want to take a good shot, and we don't want to have a lot of turnovers. So we really try to emphasize a lot of ball movement and screening to try to get the best shot we can in whatever amount of time it takes to go and do that. Defensively, we want to put pressure on the ball, but most importantly, we really want to protect the lane. And so we really emphasize a help side defensive system, whether it's man-to-man or zone or full court or whatever. We want to protect the basket first and foremost, and we want to do that as a team. So we try to play together both as a team, offensively and defensively.
Now, do you think that you'll keep your scheme mostly the same as usual, or do you think maybe you'll add a few new wrinkles here and there?
Well, I think as a coach, you're always looking to add things that'll specifically work for your team, but I think our basic scheme overall, as I just described, is something that fits well with the personnel that we have here. So I think that's pretty much going to be the main focus of what we're trying to do here.
You've got experience coaching both high school ball and college ball. You're the head women's coach at Goshen. You've coached some boys basketball at the high school level. What do you think is the biggest difference in your experience between coaching high school athletes and coaching college athletes?
Well, I think that, the main difference is in high school. Obviously, you might have kids who have a lot of varied interests, whether it's playing 2 or 3 different sports or being in a lot of school activities, whereas in college kids are going to be much more focused just on that one sport that they're playing and maybe not have as many outside activities. I think that's probably the main difference between the two.
And, of course, you also spent 5 years as an athletic director at WAWAC. Now, I'm not sure if you were doing any coaching at that point, but what was it that made you decide that you wanted to go from being an athletic director to being a head coach? I don't know if you're going to teach here at Dwenger during your time as a coach, but what was it that made you decide to make the transition from one position to the other?
Well, actually, I had taken an early retirement from WAWAC because of a medical issue, and so I haven't coached in the last 2 years, and so I was that was the opportunity I was looking for, is a Catholic school, since I am Catholic, and also for a good situation where I thought there was potential. So that's kind of was the situation that took me from being an athletic director last, and I actually did coach some while I was the athletic director, but that now has brought me to clear focus on just coaching the girls here.
Now, ultimately, no matter how many games you win, how many years you coach, ultimately, what do you want your players to take away from their careers and their experience playing for you here at Bishop Dwenger?
Well, the main thing I always say is I want them at the end of 4 years to say that they are really happy that they were part of this this team, this program. I want them to say that not only that they learned a lot about the game, but they learned a lot about life lessons, about how to get through difficult times, about how to work with others, even through times when it's difficult maybe to work with other people. And obviously I want their faith to be a big part of this program as well. So I want it to be a very well-rounded experience for them and not just a good athletic experience.
And, of course, coaching here at Dwenger, you're going to be likely coaching against some pretty good competition. You coach against teams like Homestead, Concordia, and Southside, and Northrop. They've had some good teams in recent years. So it's it's got the look of potentially having some good competition that you're going to coach against. How much are you looking forward to coaching against the competition?
Well, I like to think of myself as a very competitive person, and so I'm looking forward to that. I'm very aware that, there's going to be a lot of times this year where we're probably playing schools that are bigger than us. We play in a very competitive conference and a very competitive sectional this year, but that's the challenge that any athlete, any competitor wants. And so I think our girls are excited about it. I'm looking forward to it, and so we're ready to get started here in a couple of weeks with our summer workouts.
And, of course, you haven't been here very long, but so far, how do you like the experience?
It's been better than expected, even, and I was very much excited about the opportunity. People here have just been so welcoming. I had a meeting with the girls last week. It went really well. Talked to some girls at some AAU events and things like that. I'm just very excited. They seem like they're really, really good girls on the team, really good people to work with. The coaches have been very welcoming. I'm just very excited.
Coach, thanks for joining me today.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.